Hello and welcome to another Hikvision video tutorial. In today's video, we will be learning how to program a Hikvision Intercom Kit. Here in this example, we will be learning how to link a DSK H6320WTE1 indoor station to a DSK D8000 and 3-IMEI outdoor station, as well as how to configure an indoor extension. For this step, we will be using the local interface via the touchscreens. When you first set up your devices, they will need to be initialized. Tap the screen of your indoor station and begin initialization. First assign it a password, then select your language and configure a password reset method. Once done, the next step is network settings. If you are connecting the intercoms to a network, you can choose to assign the intercom an IP address automatically. Next, we get to our indoor station settings. If this is your primary indoor station, you can leave it as is and move on. The final step is assigning your outdoor station. As long as your devices are on the same network, it should be visible on this screen. Select it and your indoor station should now be linked to your outdoor station. Next, if applicable, repeat the process with your second indoor station. Only now on screen 3, we will be setting it as an indoor extension. Then, when it finds your original indoor station, select that, and these will be linked as well. If all goes well, you can test your outdoor station now and it should ring both your indoor station and your indoor extension. If despite following these steps, the stations fail to ring or if the stations failed to find each other, we will need to do the setup from the IVMS-4200 on a computer instead. For the IVMS-4200 to see your intercom, you will need to make sure that the intercom is either on the same network as your computer or the computer is connected to the same switch as the intercom. Once sure, open up the IVMS-4200 software, navigate to Maintenance and Management, then click Online Device to scan your network for available online devices. If the devices are inactive, we can go ahead and activate them now. Check the devices you wish to activate, click on the Activate button, then enter the password you wish for them to have. Now that they are activated, we need to assign them usable IP addresses. Click the globe icon for network configurations and assign it an IP address that your computer can access. If the devices are connected to your network, you can enable DHCP to let them find their own addresses. If not, assign them the IP addresses you will be working with. Once activated and addressed, check the boxes next to your devices, hit Add, enter the credentials, and then click Add. If the devices are not on your network and are being configured through a switch, you will need to set your network adapter settings to match the scheme of the intercoms in order to communicate with them. First, right-click your network icon and open your network and internet settings. Then select Change Adapter Options. Right-click your unidentified network. Click Properties, then select Internet Protocol version 4 and again click Properties. If necessary, set it to use the following IP address, then enter an IP address on the same scheme as the devices we are working with. Once done, head back to the IVMS-4200 and click Refresh. If all went well, your devices should now be online. Now we have our 3 devices added to our IVMS-4200. To better keep track of these, we'll go ahead and name them Main Indoor Station, Indoor Extension, and Outdoor Station. Next, we'll click the gear icon here to access remote configuration. It is important when installing intercoms to ensure that the firmware on all units are properly up to date. If one device is up to date and another isn't, you may encounter connectivity issues. In remote configuration, we can update the firmware by entering Maintenance and then browsing for our upgrade file. In order to get the firmware file you need, you can go to our website at us.hikvision.com. Search for your device and find the firmware listed at the bottom of the page. Once downloaded, unzip the file to extract the digicap.dav file inside. This will be the file you use for the upgrade. Once selected, hit OK, then click Upgrade. Once the upgrade is done, the device will likely reboot. Afterwards, it is advisable to restore the device to factory default settings before proceeding with configuration. To do this, re-enter Remote Configuration. then Maintenance, and then select Restore All. This will again reboot your device. Once finished, you will need to reinitialize and readdress your devices. You can do this selecting the now inactive device, hitting Activate, then entering the password you want it to have. Afterwards, you may select the globe icon to enter network configuration and set the device to a usable IP. If connected to a network, you can enable DHCP and let the device find an IP of its own, or you can set it yourself if you want it on a specific address. When you're done, hit OK, then re-add the device if necessary. In this case, because we assigned it the same IP address as before, we just need to refresh our page to see it come back online. Just be sure to repeat this process of upgrading, defaulting, and readdressing for every intercom device you are working with. Now we can move on to manually programming the intercoms. First, enter remote configuration for the main indoor station, then click on Network, then Group Network Settings. Here, where it says Registration Password, enter the password of the device. Where it says Main Station IP Address, enter the IP address of the main indoor station that you are currently in. Then for Main Door Station IP address, enter the IP address of the main outdoor station. Once done, hit Save. Next, enter remote configuration for your outdoor station. Select Intercom, then select Session Settings. Enter your device's password next to Registration Password, then next to Main Station IP. Enter the IP address of your main indoor station. Then hit Save. If done correctly, your main indoor station should now be linked to your outdoor station. We will now configure our second indoor station to be an indoor extension. Enter your remote configuration for the second indoor station. Enter Network, then enter Group Network Settings. Then next to Device Type, switch it to Indoor Extension and assign it a room number. If this is your first or only indoor extension, you can assign it room number 1. Subsequent indoor extensions will need their own numbers. Hit Save, then re-enter remote configuration for the indoor extension. Back to Network, then back to Group Network Settings. We will now enter our password next to Registration Password, then enter the IP address of the main indoor station next to Main Indoor Station IP. Hit Save, then Exit. In order to confirm that we've done everything correctly, we now go back into the remote configuration for the main indoor station. Enter our Intercom tab, then head over to Extension Settings. And if your indoor extension is listed here and has a status of registered, everything is now linked correctly. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If there are any subjects you wish to learn more about, please reach out to us and let us know. Your feedback is important to us.